Almost every kitchen has one little square that can turn plain water into soup in 10 seconds. But most people have no idea what's actually inside it, or why chefs either swear by it or refuse to touch it. Today, every major type of stock cube and bouillon explained, including the one that isn't a cube at all. Chicken bouillon cube, chicken bouillon cube. This is the default stock cube on Earth. The foil-wrapped square people crush into pots without thinking. The industrial version was commercialized in Europe in the early 1900s. Maggie launched its cube in 1908. Knorr pushed the idea across continents. The promise was simple: broth without bones, without hours, without a butcher. Crack one open, and you're mostly looking at salt, fat, chicken extract or powder, onion, garlic, sugar, spices, and a heavy hit of umami from MSG or yeast extract. That umami is why it tastes like real cooking in 10 seconds. The broth is golden, salty, and round. What it cannot fully copy is body. The silky white gelatin gives real bone stock. That's chemistry, not a brand scam. Chefs who hate cubes usually hate the salt and the flatness. Chefs who use them treat the cube as a base, then build with real aromatics, acid, and fat. Best use: weeknight soup, rice water, gravy rescue, noodle hacks, curry base when the fridge is empty. This little square didn't make cooking better. It made cooking possible on a Tuesday night. Beef bouillon cube. Beef bouillon cube. Same invention, darker mission, where chicken aims for soup, beef aims for stew juice. Brown roasted sticky savory. You'll find it wherever gravies, onion soups, and red meat pots dominate home kitchens. Inside, salt, fat, beef extract or powder, caramel color, onion, garlic, spices, and those same umami boosters that fake a long simmer. A good beef cube tastes like the fond at the bottom of a pan. A bad one tastes like salty brown water with a meat costume. It stands up next to tomato, mushrooms, and seared beef in a way chicken never will. Chicken whispers. Beef fills the room. Best use: beef stew, mushroom gravy, shepherd's pie, onion soup energy, biryani undernotes, pan sauces after a steak. If the dish needs weight, this is the cube that shows up first. Vegetable bouillon cube, vegetable bouillon cube, no bones. Same problem: flavorful liquid, long shelf life, zero prep. These rose with vegetarian cooking, and with anyone tired of meat stock when the meal isn't meat. Quality here is a lottery. Some taste like roasted carrots and herbs, others taste like salty celery tears. Typical build: salt, oil, sugar, dehydrated carrot, onion, tomato, celery, herbs, spices, and yeast extract. That yeast extract is doing the meaty work without meat. The broth is lighter, herbal, slightly sweet. It will not give you gelatin richness. Don't blame the box. Blame physics. Best use: veggie soups, risotto base, couscous, quinoa water, vegetarian gravy. The best vegetable cubes don't pretend to be chicken. They taste like a sofrito. Someone dried, pressed, and saved for later. Fish and seafood bouillon cube, fish bouillon cube, also sold as seafood cube or shrimp cube, built for pots where chicken would taste like a mistake. Common in European fish soups, Asian hot pots, and coastal home cooking. Shrimp cubes especially show up across Asia and Latin America. Base: salt, fish, or crustacean extract, fat, sugar, aromatics. Premium tastes clean and oceanic. Cheap turns fishy the second you overshoot the dose. The liquid should feel briny and light, never heavy like beef. It loves garlic, ginger, tomato, saffron, chili, and noodles. Best use: fish stew, seafood rice, clam pasta water, quick tom yum style broths, noodle soups that need the sea in 60 seconds. This is the cube that keeps the bowl pointed at the ocean, not the farmyard. OXO-style historic beef extract cube, OXO-style beef extract cube. Before colorful supermarket boxes, concentrated beef was sold like portable strength, closer to a medicine chest than a gourmet aisle. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, beef tea in cubes and tablets traveled with soldiers, workers, and anyone who needed savoriness. They could ship. Brands like OXO turned broth into something that fit in a pocket. This is the ancestor mindset of every modern cube. Not cafe culture, shelf-stable fuel, intense, salty, beef-led, activated by water. Overdo it, and the pot tastes like a stockroom. Dose it right, and you get old-school darkness fast. Best use: camping kits, emergency broth, old-fashioned stews, any recipe that wants that classic beef tea backbone. Every fancy cube in your cupboard still stands on this idea. Flavor you can store, ship, and wake with heat. Jarred bouillon paste. Jarred bouillon paste. This is the one that isn't a cube. Made famous by products in the style of better than bouillon, It's a thick spoonable concentrate, meat or vegetable, salt, roasted flavor, living in a jar, not in foil. It looks closer to reduced stock syrup than a dry brick. That's why a lot of serious home cooks quietly switched. You control strength teaspoon by teaspoon. Aroma often survives better because it never fully dried into a chalky block. Chicken, beef, vegetable, garlic, chili, seafood. The jar aisle is a whole second pantry. Fridge after opening. If a dry cube is instant coffee, this is espresso paste. Still fast, clearly stronger. Best use: pan sauces, mashed potatoes, 4-minute gravy, risotto, any night you want depth without a stock pot. When chefs refuse the cube but still cheat, this is often what they're cheating with. Bouillon powder. Bouillon powder, same family, loose format. Instead of one preset square, you get granules in a shaker or pouch. In many countries, powder is the default, more common than foil cubes. Composition overlaps with cubes: salt, meat, or veg powders, spices, sugar, anti-caking agents, color. It dissolves faster and doses smaller, which matters in a single pan. Weak powder is seasoned salt with dreams. Good powder tastes like broth dust. Best use: seasoning chicken before roasting, stir-fry sauce, noodle upgrades. Rice cooker water, any recipe where a whole cube is too much. Cubes win on speed, powder wins on control. Dashi powder, dashi powder. Japan's answer to the same problem. And it tastes nothing like Maggi. Traditional dashi is simmered from kombu seaweed and katsuobushi, dried smoked bonito. The powder version exists, so weeknight kitchens can get that clean oceanic umami without shaving fish flakes every night. Flavor is light, smoky sea, deeply savory. It's the backbone of miso soup, udon, simmered vegetables, and countless Japanese sauces. A pinch doesn't make food taste meaty European. It makes vegetables taste more like themselves. Best use: miso soup, noodle broths, dipping sauce, egg dishes, pan sauces that need umami without heavy meat. Europe put broth in a cube. Japan put the ocean in a packet. Same mission, different sea.